Franklin, I'm the lead facilitator for this course, a seasoned data analyst and the management course. Welcome. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see my screen. You are welcome to tonight's section, analysis scholarship course. We are having slight network challenge. Slight network challenge. Can we confirm if we can hear me, please? Yes. My network is a bit the network is a bit poor. I don't know if it's my network or it's a general stuff. Let's confirm if we can all hear me, if we can all see my screen. Welcome once again for tonight's section. This is data analysis scholarship course using Microsoft Excel. Tonight we are going to be looking at advanced Excel functions that we use for data analysis. Advanced Excel functions for data analysis. Welcome once again. I remain your facilitator for tonight, Mr. Franklin. As we all know, I'm a seasoned data analyst and a management consultant. I think it's better now. Confirm from your end if it's better now. I think the network is better now. All right. Confirm from your end. I think is better now. I need us to confirm. All right. As our tradition is, let's all hit the like button on this section. And for those of us that will join us later, that will watch this session later, remember to also hit the subscribe button for this live. That way it will help the training to rank. All right. Then also head to the scholarship group. I'm seeing 11% on this live call. Head over to the scholarship group, Cohort 3 Data Analysis Scholarship. Let everyone there know we are live. Let's go over there as our tradition is. Hit the like button on this live session. Head over to the scholarship group, Cohort 3. Type there, we are live. Join now. Type there, we are live. Join now. Let all of us do that. Let's all of us do that. Head over to the scholarship group. Type we are live. Join now. Let's do that. Let's do that. If you have done that, drop in the chat. Done. Thank you, Wisdom. I think I'm stable now. I think I'm stable now. Those that are saying they can't hear you or see my screen, that's maybe you are still coming from the beginning. Currently now we are stable. From my end, everything is stable. Wisdom for having done that. I need more confirmation. If you have dropped that in the group, if you have done that, go type in the chat done. If you have done that, type in the chat done. All right. Also, those of us on the live call, the first attendance is on. Your name, your scholarship, your location. Your name, your scholarship ID, your location. Thank you, Christiana. Your name, your scholarship ID, your location. Now, and we want us to do one more thing this night, only this night, because I'm about to teach something very important. I'm about to teach certain functions that we are going to be using as we work as data analysts. So because of that, I want us to share this live session to one or two persons or to one or two groups that we feel we are going to share this night. Please, let's confirm if we can hear me. Confirm if you can hear me. Work is fluctuating or so. Please, let's confirm if we can hear me, please. Please confirm if we can hear me. All right, without further ado, let's quickly delve into what we have today. I think we are back. I think I'm okay. I think can we confirm again? I think I'm good. I think I'm good. So welcome to today's class, data analysis course. Today we are looking at advanced Excel functions, and the training is brought to you by Soluma Institute of Tech and Management. And I'm your facilitator, Mr. Franklin. We are going to be heading straight to what we have for today. All right, here we are. We are going to be making use of this data set. We are going to be making use of this data set. Before I proceed, I want us to confirm what you can see right there on your screen so that I know we are all on the same page. Confirm what you can see on your screen. Confirm what you can see on your screen. Let's drop in the chat. Confirm what you can see right there on your screen. Someone is saying, I can't hear you. I think you are still at the back. Those of us that are still with me up to this moment, please, I need us to confirm what you are seeing right there on your screen so that I know that we are all on the same page. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, ABC Superstore. Correct. All right, I think we can proceed immediately. Okay, we are going to be looking at the lookup functions. We are going to be looking at lookup functions and array functions. And tonight we are going to be, tonight we are going to be looking at VLOOKUP. We are going to be looking at VLOOKUP. We are going to be looking at XLOOKUP. And we are going to be looking at the filter function. Under this, we are going to be looking at the sequence function as well. These are lookup functions and dynamic array functions. Lookup function and dynamic array functions. Also, we are going to be looking at sort function. We are going to be looking at what is it? We are going to be looking at sequence sort, lookup functions, and we are also going to be looking at the rand array function, the rand between. We are going to be looking at the rand array. We are going to be looking at the rand array function. Now, after that, we will go over to the test and date function, and then look at how to handle error functions. Now, what is lookup? We are going to be going over to VLOOKUP. Now, to look at VLOOKUP, or to work with VLOOKUP, I need to explain certain conditions to which we are going to be using VLOOKUP. Now, VLOOKUP, as the name implies, is vertical lookup. Vertical lookup. Now, the vertical lookup means that it looks only forward. Let me use that phrase or that word. It looks only forward, or it looks only front. It doesn't look at the back. What does that mean? If let's take for example here I have, let's say for example here I have products, or let's say here I have let's say here I have products. For example, and then this place is any product that is here. Let's say I'm looking for a product. I'm looking for a product. And here I want to use VLOOKUP to get the revenue, or to get the selling price per unit of a product here. If I use VLOOKUP to search for the selling price per unit of, say, this particular product here, I'm not going to get the right answer. I'm not going to get any answer. Why? Because if I'm to do that, this selling price, I need to rearrange this data set. I need to bring this selling price per unit at the front and take this one at the back. What that simply means is that VLOOKUP can only look something that is after the lookup value. For example, this product column is my lookup value. In other words, what I'm looking for is product here. So anything I'm going to be searching or looking for or asking Excel to return for me, that thing, that particular data set, that particular variable, that particular data must be after the product column. In other words, I'm going to select all this and bring it forward, or I'm going to select this one and move it backward. That is the rule for VLOOKUP. So that is one of the limitations of using VLOOKUP, that before you use VLOOKUP, you have to ensure that your data set is well structured, well arranged. So to do that, to show what we are talking about, let's take for example here, what I'm looking for is selling price. Let's say I'm looking for the selling price. I'm looking for the selling price per unit here. Now here, if I'm looking for the selling price per unit and I want to use VLOOKUP, I say equals to this. It will not work. VLOOKUP, it will bring this up for me. Now what am I looking for? The lookup value is this. Let's take for example, that is my lookup value, and press F4 to lock it. Once I do that, I press comma. Now what is my table array? It will ask me my table array. My table array is this. Hold Control, hold Shift. Hold Control, hold Shift, press the forward arrow, and then down arrow to highlight the entire range. Control backspace to return where we are. And then that is my table array. I put comma. Then it's asking me the column index. In other words, it's saying if I look up for this value here, what is the column index? The column index here means if you are counting from here 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the selling price per unit. That's the column index. The column index is 4. Let's take, for example, I put 4 there. Why? Because if I count here, what I'm supposed to count, I'm supposed to count from the product column forward. Let's take note of that. I suppose this ought to be first, then I count from there forward. But because it's not well arranged, that will give me a challenge. That will give me a challenge. So if I do that, it will now ask me if that, and then these ones are optional. These ones are optional. Lookup range. If you put comma here, it will ask you, are you looking for true or exact? We are looking for exact match. And then the range lookup, that one is that I hit enter. It gives me error. Why? Because what I'm looking for, the product I'm looking for, this place is at the back. So let's take, for example, okay, let's even say I haven't entered anything there. I copy this, come over to this place and paste. Let's say I paste it as value here. It's still not giving me anything. Why? Because for this to work, I have to move this to this place. So let's do that. Now, if I come here, hold Control, hold Shift, press the down arrow, highlight the entire range. So I'm going to move it. Once my cursor is like this, I will click Hold and drag over to this place. So once I get here, I will hold, I will press Shift. You see it will look as if, it looks as if we are in, if I come here, it looks in horizontal. If I go to this point, it shows in vertical. So I remove my hand. From that. Wait, let me do that again. So let me move to this place, get into this, hold my shift. We want it this way. That's it has shown me the line I'm looking for. So once is that, I remove my hand from here and it gets to this point. All right, now Control Z, Control Z. Okay, let me redo it. Move to this point, hold Shift. All right, it's very okay for me now. If I get here, this is okay. Remove my hand. Beautiful. That's what I'm looking for. Then do that. Hence, if I now do that again, what I will have is this. Let's go over to that and do that again. Let's do that once again. Now, what are we looking for? Our lookup value is this. Let's lock it, press F4 to lock it, and then comma. What is our table array? Our table array is this. Our table array is this. Hold Control, hold Shift, press forward, then down arrow. That's to highlight the entire range. Control backspace to return where we are. And then we press comma. It now asks us what's the column index. The column index we count from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I made a mistake in selecting the lookup array. Okay, I will just have to remove the B here and put A. Okay, so as to select the entire array. All right, now The next is now the column index. The column index is now from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The column index is now 5. So what we do is we come here and we press 5. For the VLOOKUP, this is the lookup value. This entire table is the table array. Then the column index. What are we following? We are following this rule, this stuff here. First is the lookup value. You select what you are looking for. The table array is the entire data set. Then press comma. Column index is that what you want Excel to return. You are telling Excel, if you found this value, look up for this value. When you get this value here, return this corresponding value in this column. Any value that corresponds to this value here, return that value for me here. That's the selling price per unit. So we put that, we say comma. What are we looking for? We are looking for an exact match. So we double click that and we hit enter. Now automatically you see currently now we have the correct answer, which is 49,620. Now if I change this to, let's say, 24, what is here is 45. I change it to 24 and hit enter. You see automatically it updates. Why? Because this is Maximus UC24 and that is the answer. If I change it to 69, for example, we will also see that will update. If I change it to 69, that also will update. And that's how you use VLOOKUP. And why do I have to teach VLOOKUP? Being that there is a more advanced function that we can use. It's simple. Some of us that makes use of Excel, Office 2010, Office 2013, Office 2016, and Office 2019, you will have to make use of VLOOKUP. But if you are using Office 2021 and above, you are going to make use of the XLOOKUP, which cancels the deficiency of VLOOKUP. It doesn't matter where the data set is. It doesn't matter where the position of the data set and all that. It will get to give you the answer. And there are other benefits, other use cases of XLOOKUP as well. Also, so let's quickly do that. I'm having a slight challenge. If that is not rectified in a few minutes, I'm afraid we will stop here. I'm afraid we will stop here. Okay, now having done this, having established that, we have seen how you can use VLOOKUP. So let's Control Z. Let's Control Z and bring back this where it is. All right, we have this product where it is. Now, let's use XLOOKUP and see if we are going to get value now. Because VLOOKUP, having product here, will not work. We need to rearrange the data set. However, let's use XLOOKUP. We can now say equals XLOOKUP. We see the X there. XLOOKUP, we select. Now, what's our lookup value? Our lookup value is this. You press F4 to lock it. Press F4 to lock it, comma. Then what is your lookup array? The lookup array is where you can see this value, and that is this place. We put Control Shift, select the entire data range, and Control Backspace to return where we are, and we put comma. Then we are saying, if I find this in this array, what do you want me to return? Return the corresponding value in it. Return the corresponding value in it in the selling price per unit. So I will hold Control Shift, press the down arrow, Control Backspace to get where we are, and then comma is asking if not found. If not found, we open quotation and close it. That's to return empty stuff for us, and then put comma. What are we looking for? We are looking for exact match. We double click on it. That is 0. That's all. And then we hit enter. Now you can see automatically we have a result. Automatically we have a result in as regards to what do we call it now? As regards to XLOOKUP, automatically we have result as regards to XLOOKUP. So that is what we have for XLOOKUP. In the next section, we are going to be looking more details into the advanced use cases of XLOOKUP. But let's see filter. Let's see what filter does. Let's see what filter does for us. We have looked at VLOOKUP. We have looked at XLOOKUP, the basic use cases of VLOOKUP, the basic use cases of XLOOKUP. We are going to be also, we will see a more advanced use cases of XLOOKUP. I have done a video on that. If not today or tomorrow, I will send us a link to that video. We see a more use case of XLOOKUP so that we maximize our time this night. All right, we are going to be stopping any moment. We are going to be stopping any moment anyway. But let's see for filter function. Now, filter function is, we use filter function normally. If not, the basic way is to come here and put the filter stuff and filter out. But what that does is that it leaves the data is still within the data set. The data is still within the data set. However, if we want to filter out the data in a separate range, we want to filter out certain range of data in a specific location. Here, if I'm filtering, let's say I'm filtering by region, I want to see only the Western region. Remove this, select the Western region and say, okay, I'm filtering everything here. But let's say, for example, you want to filter a specific data. You can use the filter function to filter the specific data in which you want to filter, and you filter it out to a specific location as well. So let's see that as well for the basic filter. Now for the basic filter, let's say we come here and we say equals to, and we say filter, select this, what is the array? Let's start with the entire data set. The array here, hold Control, hold Shift, and down arrow, that's the entire data set. Control backspace to return where we are. That's the array. Then we put comma. What do we want to return? What do we want to return? We want to return, we want to filter out by region. So we select this place, hold Control, hold Shift, press the down arrow, Control backspace. We say equals to, if that equals, let me select here. If it equals that, then we close. If empty, we put comma. If empty, we can say no match. We can say no match. For example, I'm just using that word, and then close the parentheses and hit enter. It returns no match. Why? Because here is empty. So if I put in west here and hit enter, automatically you see Excel filters out the data, all the data from west, only west, all the data from west. That means if I come here and change it to say south and hit enter, automatically it updates and filter out separately for data from south. So I can run a separate analysis on the southern region, bringing visuals and all that. Nothing will affect my data, nothing will affect my work and that. So I can run a separate filter. I can run a separate analysis on the southern region, and then after I'm done, I can also run another analysis on the western region separately. And that is on the aspect of the filter basic use case of the filter function. Now the thing here is this. Like I said, if you want to filter out a specific range, let's say you want to filter out from revenue to region, these ones are not needed. We can still come over to this place. This, our data set, this entire data set, we can come here. What is our revenue? Revenue is E. We can come here and put E. And then where do we want to stop? We want to stop in region. We can remove the I and put G here, so as to highlight only G. So once that is done, that's what we want to filter. As you can see, the range that is selected, this is the range we want to filter. Let's say we want to filter revenue, state, and region for a particular analysis. We want to filter revenue, state, and region for a particular analysis. Then we can do that as well. Hence, if I hit enter, we see that what we have here is only the revenue, state, and region. Now, this makes using filter function a very powerful tool for our analysis. So as you can easily filter a specific data from the main data set and run analysis with it. Let's say we don't need the date, we don't need any other, this only stuff we need to run our analysis on. We can do that, and then we can do that the next thing, and we run our analysis and every other thing follows. That is on the filter, for the filter function. That's for filter function. Please confirm if we can still hear me. Please confirm if we can still hear me. We have talked about the filter function, the basic use cases of filter function. We have talked about the basic use case of XLOOKUP. We have talked about the basic use case of VLOOKUP. I don't really want the section this night to be long. So for the filter function, for the XLOOKUP, I have done an extensive video and training on it. I'm going to drop the video for us in the group so that we watch it and practice alongside with it. I don't want the section this night to be long. Okay, the same way we drop a video for us on the sequence function, more advanced use cases of sequence function, so that we see what we can then use them for. So tonight I'm going to be showing us the basic use cases, which is mostly the stuff we are going to be using it to do in most cases. Most times that we work with data set, we are mostly going to be using those basic functions, basic use cases. All right. Now for sequence function. Now let's say we want to generate a serial number, we can say equals sequence. Now I need to state this. VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, they are all under lookup functions. Filter, sequence, rand array, sort, they are under what we call dynamic array functions. What makes them an array function is that, as you can see this, immediately we hit enter, it spills down other functions, other values, it spills down other entries. You don't need to double click this in order to get them. It's what we call an array. We call it an array function. So to other array function is sequence, sort, rand array. They are all under dynamic array functions. All right. So for sequence, let's do this, and we have the sequence function, the number of rows. You can put the number of rows, the number of columns, but let's start with the number of rows first. Let's say I want to generate 20 rows. Let's say I want to generate 20 rows sequentially. 1, 2, 3, 4, a serial number from 1 to 20. I just type this and hit enter. You see it generates that for me, 1 to 20. That is that, and you see it's an array. It spills down. It spills down. And if peradventure, if peradventure there is something here, let's say I have 100 here, for example, and I come over to this place and type sequence. I type a sequence, and then I want to generate the same 20. Because of this 100 beneath it, it will not work. You see it, there is it want to spill, but there is another value that is not in line with what it wants to do. It wants to generate its own value based on the function. So that will stop the spill. So if we want to bring other ones down, we are going to delete this. So once we delete it, the spill comes down. You see 1, 2, 3, 4 down to 20. And that is for that. All right. Then the next one we are going to look at is under the sequence function as well. We can use it to generate some data, sample data set. We can say sequence. We come over to this. How many rows? Let's say we want 20 rows. Then, comma, how many column? How many column do we have? Do we want? Let's say we want 5 columns, for example. Then it's asking us, where do we want to start? Let's say we want to start from 2. That is under then, comma, is asking us the step. Let's say we are starting based on the increase of 4. Increase of 4, step increase of 4, and that we hit enter. As we do that, we hit enter. You can see what we have here. Increase of 4, you see it 2, 4, 6, okay, 2, 6, 10, 14, 18, like that. It goes that way with the step of 4 from left to right. It generates that number serially in that format, and off we go. Now these are basic use cases of sequence functions as we progress. However, I don't really use sequence function to generate random values. What I use is rand array. If I want to generate random values, I use rand array. All right, in this session, in this course, you might have seen me use rand array. I think you might have seen me use rand array. All right, now let's quickly do that. Let's quickly use the rand array function. The rand array. Okay, for us to use that, we can say equals rand array. You see the function, click it, is asking how many rows. Let's say we are what we need. Let's still maintain the 20 rows. That's that. Then columns, let's also maintain the 5 columns. Then we put comma. It's now asking us 5 columns, this minimum, let's say minimum of 10. Let's say minimum of 10, comma, and then maximum of 100. Then it's asking us, do you want it as a decimal or an integer? We want it as an integer. That's integer, whole number. Don't put it in ratio. Don't put it in decimal. We want it in whole number. If you want it to generate it in decimal, you can also leave it in decimal. You double click on decimal, and then we hit enter. Now you see it generates random value. It generates random value, not based on a certain sequence. It's not based on a certain sequence or so. It generates random value based on the order we gave it. Minimum of 10, maximum of 100. As you can see here, there is no value that is beyond 100, and there is no value that is below 10 from what we can see here. They are all within that range of value that we specify. They are all within that range of value that we specify. Okay. Now, having established that, that is for the random For sort, we can sort alphabetically, we can sort by from the largest to lowest or from lowest to largest. That's the way we can sort. So if we use the basic sort function, what are the things it helps us to do is that we are going to stop here. Let me know we are going to stop. Let me know we are going to stop here once that thing we hit enter. Once that thing we hit enter. Once you hit enter, you have sorted. Enter, you have sorted out. You notice that it starts from Abia, which is the alphabetical from Abia down. You see after Abia, then you see after Abia, the next one is acquirable by the so to sort, and it speeds it up. Is this the array? You select the column, the sort index, whatever column you want to sort by. Here I sort by state. You count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why I have 6 here. Sort order, whether you want it ascending or descending. I selected ascending. Then talking about in a more advanced use case of sort, we are going to be looking at this later. So that is the lookup and array functions this night. There are other lookup functions like index, like match functions and index match, but knowing XLOOKUP, it has cancelled that. This Excel 2019, 2016, thereabout, we are going to